Hey everybody, how's it going? Rob Tomlinson, DishNet34 here, welcoming you to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 215. That's right, it is our third batch of Negro League cards today. Some of my favorite cards in the entire game. Welcome in, welcome in. Hopefully your week in Perfect Team has been going well so far. For my team, it's back in Diamond, and it ain't doing well. Oh, gracious. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. So, holy moly. What a week it's been. What a week it's been. Hopefully it's going well for you. And all that good stuff. You know, it's a nice sunny day out today. I'm looking to get out and about. Programming note real quick before we go any further here today. Tomorrow we will not be having an episode of the Friday Showdown because I want to save my voice for what's coming up on Saturday, the 4th PTCS tournament. But also, you know, I got some work stuff to get done tomorrow night. So gonna be doing that instead tomorrow. Sorry for the inconvenience on that. But hopefully I'll see you on Saturday for that. All right, so let's go ahead and get things started here today. We got a lot to go through today, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I just mentioned a little bit ago, Perfect Team Championship Series number 4 is this Saturday. That's right, it is just 2 days from now. It starts 48 hours from the time of the live broadcast. How's that sound? Sounds pretty good to me. That's right. Saturday, August 12th, beginning at noon Eastern, will be the start of our 4th PTCS. Finals coverage is going to be on our Out of the Park Developments Twitch channel. What time will I start the broadcast? When one of the finals starts. There is no set start time. Probably going to be in the evening. It just kind of happens. Just kind of like what we usually do with the Perfect League World Series. It starts when it starts. I don't have a set time for y'all on that. I never do. And I know y'all schedule watchers out there probably having a conniption fit right now. But because, you know, there's not a set time for these kind of things sometimes. So, oh well. Once again, PTCS, the top 128 teams from the PTCS period in each of the 10 eligible formats will participate in the PTCS. The top 64 from the first 5 PTCSs will be going to the Perfect Team Master Series based on points that you'll get based on how you finish in the PTCS. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, there are separate Perfect Team Master Series for regular tourneys and for perfect drafts. First place through 32nd place in each PTCS will get a brand new PTCS exclusive card depending on how they finished. And once again, a quick look at the formats that are going to be happening for PTCS 4. A lot of opens from Iron down to, well, Open. You got Iron Open, Bronze Open, Silver Open, Gold Open, Diamond Open, Open. Then you got the wild card. You have a silver floor, diamond ceiling with a 2150 cap. That should get some very interesting rosters going. Weekly tournament's going to be a Dead Ball to Rebirth Open tournament. And then for the Perfect Draft Daily and Perfect Draft Weekly participants, you have the Pick 12 Perfect Draft. And if you didn't catch the VOD last week when our good buddy Paul Sporer, who, by the way, did a great job last week with the show, he talked about what Pick 12 meant a little bit. And LEs are going to be in those perfect drafts. So some fun cards, potentially, that you might be able to get. I actually had a draft recently. Not a PTCS draft, because, you know, I'm not good enough at the game to even make a PTCS. Let's be honest with ourselves here. But I managed to get, like, Ken Griffey Jr. LE and the Huey Jennings LE in the first 2 rounds, which that's just, that was an incredible first couple rounds, I will say that much. You know, got the old Got the old euphoria going there. But there you go. There's a look at some of the formats and, of course, the rewards. Look at your rewards for PTCS number 4. You got Allie Reynolds for 17th through 32nd place. You got Yoan Moncada for 9th through 16th place, which, by the way, fun fact about Yoan Moncada, his BABIP in that 2015, 2019 season? 2019 season. Highest individual season BABIP of the entire 2010s, which that's just friggin' incredible. So you're going to have a lot of BABIP on that card right there. 5th through 8th place getting a 94 overall, Jim Edmonds. 3rd and 4th place getting a 96 overall, Gaylord Perry. 2nd place getting a 100 overall, Dustin Pedroia. And the champion right here getting y'all's Honus Wagner from 1904 Pirates. Not bad. Not bad right there. All right, let's move on here a little bit. And you know, a lot of Negro League stats can be kind of incomplete. There's some complete records out there. There's some incomplete records out there. But you know, I used a couple of sources to try to get these stats to you here tonight because, you know, I love to talk about stats on the stream. And one of those resources that I used the Seamheads database as well, but I also kind of coupled that with Baseball Reference and StatHead Baseball, powered by Baseball Reference. And you can use this fantastic service as well. Use code 23OOTP25 at checkout for $25 off an annual baseball or all sport subscription. Oh man, I tell you, I keep saying the praises of this service right here. It is a stat nerd's dream, this service, StatHead Baseball. I mean, there's actually a couple new features in here as well, which that's pretty cool. And it's not just for baseball. It's for baseball, it's for hockey, it's for football, it's for basketball. A lot of different uses for this service. And you can use code 23OOTP25 at checkout to save $25 off an annual subscription. How good of a deal is that? It's a fantastic deal. All right. So let's go ahead and, and also, offer expires December 31st, 2023. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get to today's content. It is our third set of Negro Leagues cards. That's right, new packable cards based on players from the Negro Leagues. Let me tell you, there have been a lot of fantastic players that we've already released with the first couple of sets, and you know what? We've got some great cards on the way for y'all here tonight, here in the third set. Whoo, boy. So let's go ahead and get things started. And we start off, we got a few gold cards for you here today. We're going to start down in gold. The lowest card rating we're going to have today with this packable set is gold cards. So here we go. We're going to start off with a pretty solid fielding shortstop here. And, yeah, let's go ahead and get things started with 84 overall shortstop, Tommy Butts. Tommy Butts, 84 overall. Not the greatest bat in the world, but he is a defensive wizard out there. 76 BABIP, 18 power, 79 avoid K, 75 contact, 86 gap power, and 66 on the eye. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 81 BABIP, 22 power, 79 avoid K, 80 contact, 88 gap, and 75 eye against lefties. And righties, he's still kind of a contact hitter there, maybe just a little bit of a lesser one than he is against lefties. Defensively, look at this. Look at these defensive ratings over here, folks. 93 range, 94 error, 95 arm, and 97 on the turn double play. A solid defensive gold shortstop right here. Just absolutely solid. Can only play shortstop, though, so you can't quite, shift him over to second base or third base or anything like that. Strictly a shortstop, this guy. Speed, stealing, and base running, pretty good numbers there. 91 speed, 93 stealing, 98 base running. But if you want something he is truly elite at, absolutely elite, bunting, baby. 111 on the sack bunt, 108 on the bunt for hit. The butt for hit. Goodness gracious. I see the word butts on the screen and I automatically think of butts, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. And like, here's the thing. So here's the thing with Tommy Butts, all right? So I type in Tommy Butts into Wikipedia. I get no results. So I do a Google search, and Wikipedia lists his name under his nickname, which is kind of weird, kind of, understandable too. His nickname was Pee-wee. So Wikipedia's entry for this guy is Pee-wee Butts. I'll let all the 12-year-olds in the audience. I'm pausing for applause and or laughter here. But Tommy Butts, he was a pretty decent player in his career. Not the greatest hitter in the world. 269, 338 with a 338 slugging percentage. 4 homers and 199 RBI in his career. Not the greatest hitter. But he was a 5-time All-Star, played in both All-Star games in the 1947 season. He hit 300 each of his last 3 seasons. Hit 315 in 1946, 351 in 1947, 304 in 1948. Now, this guy started his pro career pretty darn young. Pretty darn young. So at age 17, this guy actually quit high school and began playing professional baseball with the Atlanta Black Crackers of the Negro American League in 1936. And he actually got his first appearance in 1938 for the Black Crackers. Played 25 games for them, hit just 224 at the age of 18. So this guy, pretty darn young, dropped out of high school to do this. But he became a fantastic defender, and he actually became a better hitter as he went on throughout his career. I mean, the next season at age 19, he hit 277, had a 284 season in there, and of course, like we mentioned, the 315, 351, and 304 seasons later on in his career. Played in Canada, Nebraska, and Texas following his Negro League career. Played 9 seasons for the Baltimore Elite Giants in the Negro National League as well. So there you go. Tommy Butts, also known as Pee-wee, he is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's go to a guy who's got plenty of versatility. Plenty of versatility in the gold level. And pretty solid hitter for a gold as well. Ladies and gentlemen, first baseman, 86 overall, George Carr. George Carr, 75 BABIP, 81 power, 71 avoid K, 90 contact, 78 gap power, 81 on the eye. Pretty solid splits here. Let's see. Against righties, he's got 76 BABIP, 82 power, 71 avoid K, 91 contact, 78 gap, and 81 on the eye. Against lefties, he's got 72 BABIP, 79 power, 72 avoid K, 87 contact, 75 gap, and 82 on the eye. This guy can play all over the darn field. This guy can play all over, and especially in tournaments, because he has all those unfilled positions there. This guy is going to be a solid defensive option for y'all in like perfect drafts, in tournaments. You can play this guy practically anywhere, and he'd be solid. You can play catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, center field, right field. He can't play pitcher, though. He cannot be a pitcher, though, which kind of stinks. Not going to lie. But he's fully trained at first base and fully trained in center field. He's got some decent speed as well. 85 speed, 81 stealing, 83 base running. Defensively, there is too much defense on this guy. So much defense, it couldn't even fit on the screen. So let me look some things up here. Oh gracious, let's see. What's his defense? I don't think there's any changes in this sheet. All right, so what I have in front of me here, and Paul can help me out if need be on this. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. He's got, from what I see, he's got 79 range, 76 error, 76 arm, and 71 turn double play on the infield, while in the outfield, he's got 77 range, 81 error, and 80 arm. Now you can see the defensive ability for his catcher down there. 61 catcher ability, 61 on the arm. Hopefully what I just told you was accurate, because I don't see it on the screen. But here's hoping that I'm correct on that. But George Carr, very solid career from 1920 all the way up to 1934. 311, 376, 463 with 57 homers, 453 RBI. He had 6 double-digit stolen base seasons, couple of double-digit home run years as well. Best season was probably his 1925 season. Had 22 doubles, 11 triples, 11 homers, and 70 RBI in the 1925 season when he was playing for the Hilldale Club of the Eastern Colored League. Had 24 stolen bases as well in that season as well. So George Carr, pretty good player. And after his baseball career was over, he went to work as a cook for a railroad company, which was pretty interesting stuff. So there you go. George Carr from the Negro League collection is in Perfect Team 24. All right, our final gold card we're going to be showing off for y'all today. So is he in the dinner car? Oh, Nico. Oh, Nico. Bad joke. Bad joke. Oh, man. Let's move on. Let's move on and to our next card. And boy, oh boy, we got ourselves what I think is a pretty good defensive catcher. It's more of a contact hitter kind of guy. But this guy has some elite defense at the catcher position. Ladies and gentlemen, our next card is 88 overall, Frank Duncan. Frank Duncan. Let's talk about the bat real quick first, because it can be solid in quite a few areas. 84 BABIP, 32 power, 83 avoid K, 86 contact, 79 gap power, 88 on the eye. A lot better against righties than he is against lefties. He's got 85 BABIP, 33 power, 85 avoid K, 87 contact, 81 gap, and 89 on the eye against righties. But look at that defense over there on the left-hand side of your screen. 101 on the catcher ability. That's a triple-digit number for catcher ability. 101 on that with 81 catcher arm. Definitely one of the better defensive catchers that we have in the Negro League collection. He can also play first base and right field, fully trained. In the infield, he's got 61 range, 59 error, 71 arm, and 58 on the turn double play. In the outfield, he's got 71 on range, error, and arm. Speed, stealing, and base running, not bad either. 59 speed, 77 stealing, 68 on the base running. So Frank Duncan, in his career, played from 1920 all the way up to 1946, which that's a long time. That is a long, long time. He also managed in the latter part of his career. Managed the Kansas City Monarchs to a couple of pennants in 1942 and 1946. Also played a little bit during those years. And he managed the Kansas City Monarchs for the longest of all managers in team history with 6 years. He won 281 games as a manager, but as a player, hit .254, .336, .330 with 15 homers, 394 RBI. He actually also caught 2 no-hitters in his career in 1923 and in 1929. And during his baseball career, actually, he was actually drafted into the U.S. Army in World War II, which is pretty cool stuff. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so Duncan was drafted into the U.S. Army for World War II after the 1942 season, and he became a sergeant in the 371st Infantry Regiment of the 92nd Division. And according to Wikipedia, he showed off his precision by hitting 31 bullseyes and 32 shots in rapid firing from 200 yards, a marksmanship record. So this guy not only was pretty accurate behind the plate if anybody was trying to steal, but also out on the range as well. But there you go. Frank Duncan, pretty good catcher, very good defender. He is in Perfect Team 24. Oh yeah, at one point caught for his son, a pitcher. That's true. That's true. First father-son battery in baseball history. That is true. Played alongside his son, pitcher Frank Duncan III in 1941. Awesome. Awesome stuff there. All right, next up, let's get to some diamond cards today. Let's get to some diamond cards. And our first one is going to be on the pitcher's mound here. And our next player is going to be 90 overall right-handed starter, Rats Henderson. Rats Henderson, 84 stuff, 100 movement, 95 homer rating, 82 pitcher BABIP, and 72 on the control. Rats Henderson, also known as Arthur. Arthur's his real name. 75 and 54 record, a 3.56 ERA, 12.9% strikeout percentage in his career. Not bad. He's a little bit better against lefties than he is against righties in a few categories, except for pitcher BABIP. So has a little bit of reverse splits on him, which isn't bad. 86 stuff against righties, 82 stuff against lefties. Movement, a little bit better against lefties than against righties. Control, a little bit better as well. 96 stamina, 70 on the hold runners. Fastball, curveball, sinker combo. Can also play a little bit of left field in a pinch. He's not a great hitter, so definitely not the greatest, outfield option, maybe. But maybe just in case, you don't have a backup left fielder somehow. Here's a guy that can kind of fill in a pinch. Rats Henderson played for 5 different teams in 9 seasons, and he went the distance in quite a few games. I mean, we're talking, he led the Eastern Colored League in complete games and strikeouts twice in 1923 and 1925. I looked on Baseball Reference for these stats here. 14 complete games in 1923 in 17 starts, and in 25 games started in 1925, he completed 20 of them. Not bad, not bad. And Rats Henderson also had 4 10 or more win seasons in his career, 1923, 1925, 26, and 27. Also led the league in losses 3 times, more than he led the league in wins, which is strange. A little strange, but either way. There you go. Rats Henderson, a pretty good homer suppression guy. Pitcher BABIP's not bad. Hold runners is all right, around a 70 there. But he is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's go back on the infield. And, we've had a lot of defensive options for our players so far. And this next one is no exception here, but should be a decent guy. If you want a defensive guy over at second base, maybe a little bit of third base, maybe a little shortstop as well. Our next card is 94 overall, Newt Allen. Newt Allen, 86 BABIP, 35 power, 85 avoid K, 89 contacts, 104 gap power, and 75 on the eye. But man, oh man, he can play some infield. 92 range, 95 error, 90 arm, and 90 turn double play on the infield. Can play second, can play third, can play short. Third base, not quite all the way trained up. He's almost there, 96 out of 104, but he can play all three of those positions very well. 83 speed, 85 stealing, 87 base running as well. 97 sack bunt, 100 on the bunt for hit. Hitting wise, he, first glance, looks a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. Against righties, he's got 85 BABIP. He's got 36 power, 87 avoid K, 89 contact, 106 gap, and 76 on the eye. Newt Allen in his career went from 1922 all the way up to 1947. 286, 344, 375 on his career slash line, 24 homers, 531 RBI. He was a 3-time All-Star in the Negro Leagues, and he led the Negro American League in games, plate appearances, and at-bats in the 1937 season. And, he was a pretty solid defender. He only had like a couple of negative defensive WAR seasons in his career, and that was more when he was like 42 and 43 years old. But he led the leagues in defensive wins above replacement a couple of times in his career, 1937 and 1931, which that's pretty good accomplishment. I mean, he had a 1.8 defensive WAR in 1926. That somehow didn't lead the league. Lots of positive defensive WAR seasons. So this guy, very solid on the fielding end. Oh, man. So he was one of the fastest base runners in the league sometimes. Had 9, 10 or more stolen base seasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, just pretty good stuff. Actually, no, that's just 8 of them. Sorry about that. He had 10 or more stolen bases in 8 seasons. My bad. I was looking at a duplicate line on Baseball Reference there. Apologies for that. Now, an interesting story here is that he became the Kansas City Monarchs manager in 1941. He was long known for his leadership ability beforehand, but he only became the manager that year because Andy Cooper, who was a pitcher for the Kansas City Monarchs for quite a while, unfortunately had a preseason stroke and passed away during the season. So pretty much Newt Allen took over the team after that unfortunate event and just went along his merry way, won the Negro American League Championship that season. Did it for Andy. But before the next season, resigned as manager, resuming his duties as a reserve infielder at the time. So Newt Allen, pretty decent manager, won the pennant for that one season he was, but also solid defender. So there you are. Newt Allen, 94 overall, is it. Perfect team, 24. All right, let's keep the defense going here, folks. We're gonna get some hitters very, very soon. Some really good hitters, and we got some really good pitchers coming up. But right now, our next player is gonna be patrolling center field. Might be a pretty good defensive option for y'all here. Next player is going to be 95 overall, Jerry Benjamin. Jerry Benjamin, 95 overall, 89 BABIP, 51 power, 75 avoid K, 91 contact, 90 gap power, 77 on the eye. But you're not getting this guy for his bat. You're not getting this guy for his bat. You're getting it for that defense over there on the left-hand side. That is a 102 range in the outfield. 102 range, 97 error, 92 on the arm. Not bad at all. He can play center field, all trained up. He is also qualified to play second base and right field in tourneys, even though they're not trained up all the way. Pretty good stuff right there. Defensively on the infield, since he can play a little bit of second base, he's got 67 range, 84 error, 65 arm, and 79 on the turn double play. Speed, stealing, and base running, pretty good as well. 98 speed, 96 stealing, and 94 base running. Bunting is also good with Jerry Benjamin, 88 sack bunt and 100 on the bunt for hit. In his career, which goes from 1932 all the way up to 1948, hit 295, 360, 388 with 28 career homers and 353 RBI. He was a three-time All-Star in his career, led the Negro National League in stolen bases 3 times in his career. And that would be in 1936, he had 10 of them in 39 games. 1937, he had 13 of them in 52 games. 1940, he had 16 of them in 44 games. He was part of a Homestead Grays team that was just absolutely mopping the floor with their opponents. They won 9 pennants in 11 years, for which this guy was part of 8 of them, along with 2 Negro World Series championships in 4 appearances. So this guy really was a key player for those Homestead Grays teams of the 30s and the 40s. A solid contributor. Led the league in triples a couple of times as well. He had 5 triples in 36, 5 of them in 1938. So has a little bit of pop to him as well with the 51 power. Not the greatest amount of power as well. More of a contact slap hitter kind of thing. But Jerry Benjamin should be a solid defender for a lot of players. He is in Perfect Team 24. All right, let's go back to the pitcher's mound and let's get to some great cards here. I mean, we've already had some great cards here tonight. Let's get to some more of them. Let's get you some more of them, and we're going back to the pitcher's mound for our next one. It is 98 overall, right-handed starter Max Manning. Not to be confused with Peyton or Eli, it is Max Manning. 98 stuff, 100 movement, 94 homer rating, 86 pitcher BABIP, and 92 control. And he's got kind of a little bit of reverse splits, but very, very solid splits on this guy. 96 stuff, 102 movement, 95 homer, 84 pitcher BABIP, and 92 control against lefties. Against righties, he's got 99 stuff, 98 movement, 93 homer rating, 87 pitcher BABIP, 92 control. 88 stamina and 68 on the hold runners as well. He's got fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup on him here. And he can also play a little bit of left field as well, even though he's not the greatest hitter out there. But this is a pretty solid high diamond pitcher here. Might make a few rosters here and there. But Max Manning, in his career from 1939 all the way up to 1948, so about 10 or so seasons for him. 59 and 35 with a 3.59 ERA, struck out 14.6% of batters that he faced. He was a 2-time All-Star. 2-time All-Star in his Negro League career, 1947 and 1948. Led the Negro National League in complete games 2 times, with 3 or more seasons of 11 or more. Well, three seasons of 11 or more complete games. This guy, you know, we talked about Rats Henderson having a lot of complete games. This guy, toward the latter end of his career, after he got back from World War II, started games and finished them. 11 complete games in 1946, 13 of them in 1947, 12 of them in 1948. In 12 games started, 17 games started, and 14 games started, respectively. And before his military service, this dude only completed 25 of them in 5 seasons. So he had 25 of them in 5 seasons, and then went out and did 36 complete games in 3 years. Pretty awesome stuff. So there you go. Max Manning, let's see. Also, Max Manning, very interesting fact about them. In 2003, he appeared on an episode of PBS's History Detectives show, which featured an investigation into how a baseball field dedicated to fellow Negro League player Pop Lloyd came to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey, during a period where racial discrimination was in force. So he was featured a little bit on an episode of this PBS series. But then he died later that year at the age of 84. But pretty cool stuff. They got to appear in that episode before he passed. So there you go. Max Manning from our Negro League collection is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, you know, we haven't had a whole lot of power bats shown off so far today. We're going to have one for you right here. Now, this guy only played a couple of seasons in the Negro Leagues. He was more known for his efforts in Major League Baseball. This is one of the guys that got signed out of the Negro Leagues, made it to Major League Baseball, and had a pretty decent career. Our next guy is 98 overall left fielder Luke Easter. Luke Easter, a lot of people remember him from his Cleveland days in Major League Baseball. He was also a Negro League player back in the day as well. 78 BABIP, 114 power, 80 avoid K, 107 contact, 99 gap power, and 99 on the eye. Look at the splits against righties here. It's a little bit better against righties here. 78 BABIP, 116 power, 81 avoid K, 108 contact, 100 gap, and 100 on the eye. Against lefties, he's not bad either. 77 BABIP, 109 power, 78 avoid K, 104 contact, 97 gap, and 97 on the eye. Not a lot of speed on this guy. Very antithetical to a lot of the hitter cards we have seen so far today. Just 16 speed, 9 stealing, 12 base running. Just don't have this guy steal. But he's a kind of a decent defender out in left field. Can also play a little bit of right field as well if you need him to. 72 range, 67 error, and 67 arm. Now, Luke Easter only played a couple of seasons in the Negro Leagues, but he was pretty good both years. Hit 292, 385, 490 in 1947 and 1948, 12 career homers, and 77 RBI. In 1948, he was a Negro National League All-Star, led the league in homers with 6 of them, and had a .549 slugging percentage to lead the league in that category. Pretty cool stuff right there. Won the Negro World Series with the Homestead Grays in 1948. Next year, he was signed by the Cleveland team, and he went on to have a pretty decent career. Played between 1949 and 1954, so from ages 33 through 38. He was kind of a late bloomer, a little bit, to baseball. But yeah, he hit 93 career homers with Cleveland. I believe he had 28 in his second year in Cleveland, 27 of them in 51, 31 of them in 52. So he had a pretty decent career outside of the Negro Leagues as well, even though he was also a solid hitter for those couple of years that he was in the Negro League. So there you go. Luke Easter, left fielder from the Negro League collection, is in perfect team 24. Now I'm kind of curious here. How did he get such a late start? Okay, so okay. So basically he was in the St. Louis, Missouri area in his younger days. But even though he was good enough to be a professional player, there wasn't a Negro League franchise in St. Louis. So in 1937, he joined a semi-pro outfit. And that team was made up of some African Americans employed by the National Lead Company, who was in the area. So players would work their factory jobs during the week, often with some time off to practice, then play baseball for the company on the weekends. And let's see, he earned like just $20 a week playing semi-pro baseball. And let's see. And he didn't really get into professional baseball until after World War II. Luke Easter had tryouts with a couple of Negro National League teams and all that good stuff. So he went to the Homestead Grays. Pretty cool stuff. So there you go. Luke Easter is in perfect team 24. Alrighty. One more diamond card to show off for you. Today. And you know, when we showed off Frank Duncan as a catcher a little while ago, a lot of people were saying, well, where's this guy? Where's this guy? Well, guys, guess what? Our next card here today is 99 overall catcher Biz Mackey. Oh, baby, you. Okay, wrong guy. 80 BABIP, 78 power, 70 avoid K, 93 contact, 97 gap power, 83 on the eye. Very solid splits. Not a whole lot of splits between lefties and righties here. Maybe a little bit better against lefties in a few categories as well. Not bad. He can play catcher. Obviously, he's got 94 catcher ability, 78 catcher arm. Not bad at all. 69 range, 69 error on the infield. 70 arm and 60 on the turn double play. In the outfield, he's got 50 range, 56 error, and 50 on the outfield arm. So there's a little look at that there. 58 speed, 69 stealing, 83 base running. He can play catcher, first, second, third, short, and right field. Awesome stuff. But yeah, solid hitter, solid bunter as well, by the way. But, you know, Biz Mackey, known mainly for his defensive prowess. He was regarded as the best black catcher in the 20s and 30s. Hit 330, 393, 473 in his career with 66 homers and 750 RBI. Yeah, I see in the chat that Biz Mackey was the man. He was the man for a long time in the Negro Leagues. Like, we're talking, like, he had years where he had 300 seasons, like, for, gosh, how many years in a row? Let's see. About 10 years in a row to start off his career between the Indianapolis ABCs, the Hilldale Club, the Baltimore Black Sox. Just absolutely great stuff. In 1923, he actually hit 423, was the Eastern Colored League batting champ that year, and led in doubles that year. And actually, no, led in doubles in 1926 with 25 of them. And that also was his biggest power output year, where he had 10 dingers on the year with the Hilldale Club. So this guy, solid hitter, defensively very good throughout his entire career. And Biz Mackey, you know, he was actually a mentor to Roy Campanella when he was a manager with the Baltimore Black Sox as well. Biz Mackey, pretty much, Campanella later recalled, this is from Wikipedia here, Campanella later recalled about Biz Mackey that he was the master of defense of all catchers. Quote, when I was a kid in Philadelphia, I saw both Mackey and Mickey Cochran in their primes, but for real catching skills, I don't think Cochran was the master of defense that Mackey was. When I went under his direction in Baltimore, I was 15 years old. This guy was Roy Campanella was 15 years old when he first got tutelage from Biz Mackey. Gathered quite a bit from Mackey, watching how he did things, how he blocked low pitches, how he shifted his feet for an outside pitch, how he threw with a short, quick, accurate throw without drawing back. He got all that from Mackey at a young age. So this guy, definitely one of the best black catchers, maybe of all time, this side of Josh Gibson. So there you go. Biz Mackey. Biz Mackey, outside of catcher, he also played a lot of infield. But he was mainly a catcher throughout practically his entire career. Played some infield as well, played a little bit of outfield too. And actually in 1924 with the Hilldale Club, 68 games, and he actually played the majority of them at shortstop. Played the majority of them at shortstop because a guy named Louis Santop was a catcher at that time. So there you go. Biz Mackey, 99 overall. He is in Perfect Team 24. All right. We got a few packable perfect cards for you today. So let's go ahead and start talking about them perfect cards. And we're going to start off with our perfect cards with a guy that y'all may know very, very well for being the first black player in the American League. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 overall, second baseman, Larry Doby. Larry Doby, 89 BABIP, 94 power, 81 avoid K, 110 contact, 107 gap, and 86 I. Against righties, a lot better than he is against lefties. 91 BABIP, 95 power, 83 avoid K, 112 contact, 109 gap, and 87 on the eye. Now, Larry Doby, a lot of people might think of him as an outfielder because of his time with Cleveland during his Major League Baseball career, but he was mainly a second baseman in his time in the Negro Leagues. 337, 425, 584 in his career with 21 career homers and 135 RBI between 1942 and 1947 in the Negro Leagues. Defensively, pretty solid. 85 range, 85 error, 87 arm, and 85 on the turn double play. So very even stats down the line defensively. 1946, he was a Negro National League All-Star with the Newark Eagles. Had 300 average 4 or 5 seasons in the Negro Leagues with 11 triples in 1946. And of course, as y'all know, Larry Doby broke the American League color barrier in July of 1947 with Cleveland, becoming the second black player in Major League Baseball after Jackie Robinson, at least since Jackie broke the color barrier. So there you go, Larry Doby, solid second baseman. Speed, stealing, and base running a little bit on the iffy side. 52 speed, 52 stealing, 82 on the base running. 20 sack bunt, 31 on the bunt for hits. So yeah, don't have this guy. Don't have this guy bunt. Just don't. Just don't. Now, the story of how Larry Doby got to Cleveland. You know, Branch Rickey for the Dodgers actually had Larry Doby as their top young Negro League prospect. But unlike Branch Rickey, who signed Jackie Robinson one full season before bringing him to the National League, Bill Veeck, the owner of Cleveland at the time, used a different strategy. He let Doby remain with the Eagles, with the Newark Eagles, instead of bringing him through the team's farm system in Cleveland. So while Rickey declined to pay the purchasing rights of Jackie Robinson while he played for the Kansas City Monarchs, Bill Veeck was determined to buy Doby's contract from the Eagles. So Bill Veeck paid the business manager for the Eagles, Effa Manley, $15,000 for Larry Doby, $10,000 for taking him from the Eagles, and another $5,000 once it was determined he would stay with Cleveland for at least 30 days. And well, that 30 days turned into a pretty solid major league career for Larry Doby. In the major leagues, he hit 283, 253 career homers, 970 RBI in 1,533 games from 1947 all the way up to 1959. So there you go. Larry Doby from the Negro League collection is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's go out to the outfield once again. And we got a very solid contact hitter for y'all. Maybe not the greatest defender out there, but solid hitting outfielder for y'all today. Ladies and gentlemen, 100 overall left fielder, Roy Parnell. Roy Parnell, 117 BABIP. That's it. That's the card. 117 BABIP, 87 power, 87 avoid K, 132 contact overall, 117 gap power, 69 on the eye. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 120 BABIP, 89 power, 89 avoid K, 136 contact, 119 gap, and 69 on the eye. That's not bad. Yeah, would you like some BABIP with your BABIP? I would love some BABIP with my BABIP. I'll be drinking my BABIP here real quick. That's some good BABIP water right there. 93 speed, 96 stealing, 98 on the base running. Defensively, he can play left field, he can play center, he can play right, and he can play shortstop. He's not going to be a great defender out there, though. So you would mainly have this guy in your lineup for his very excellent contact bat. In the outfield, he's got 76 range, 58 error, 54 arm. So definitely a strict left fielder. Because, I mean, if you have to play this guy in center, something's wrong. Defensively in the infield, he's got 67 range, 59 error, 65 arm, and 64 on the turn double play. You can also bunt a little bit too. 93 sack bunt, 92 on the bunt for hit. But from 1927 to 1943, this guy, solid hitter. 327, 387, 487 on his career slash line in the Negro Leagues. 43 career homers, 380 RBI. He's a two-time Negro National League All-Star. Excuse me. And in his rookie season, this is him starting out in his career. The dude hit .411 with 11 homers, 79 RBI, 25 doubles, 11 triples, and 21 stolen bases. This guy could do it all. His first year in the Negro Leagues, playing for the Birmingham Black Barons. And, you know, he continued that solid play throughout his entire career. Only hit below 300 a few times in his career, and that was mainly toward the end of his career in like 1938, 41, 42, 43, but still was a solid hitter throughout those years too. He had some years where he hit like 379, 367. Just some absolutely fantastic hitting in his career. He led the Negro Southern League in 1932 in RBIs with 50 of them, 12 doubles, and 11 triples as well. So there you go. Roy Parnell. Absolutely incredible hitter. He is in Perfect Team 24. All right. Next up, we got a couple more packable perfect cards for y'all today. How many teams did the team play in 1932? Well, I will let you know. 49 of them. 49 of them. So he averaged pretty much an RBI a game. That's not bad. That is not bad. All right, let's take you back to the pitcher's mound for our next player. And it is 100 overall right-handed starter, Ray Brown. Ray Brown. Look at this guy right here. 87 stuff, 111 movement, 101 homer rating, 100 pitcher BABIP, 113 control. And he's a two-way guy. That's right, he is a two-way guy here with a solid bat. You can see that down in the left-hand corner. 92 contacts, 79 power, 63 eyes, 62 sack bunt. But look at the pitching stats here. Look at the pitching here. 87 stuff, 111 movement, 101 homer rating, 100 pitcher BABIP, 113 control. Lot better against righties than he is against lefties, but man, oh man, he is still solid against lefties. I mean, against righties, he's got 91 stuff, 113 movement, 102 homer rating, 103 pitcher BABIP, 115 control. And then against lefties, 82 stuff, 108 movement, 101 homer, 96 pitcher BABIP, 112 control. 104 stamina and 82 on the hold runners. He is an extreme ground ball type. 94 to 96 miles an hour on the velocity. Fastball, slider, curveball, sinker, knuckleball. This dude got a knuckleball, you folks. Not bad, not bad. And a knuckle curve as well. Ray Brown, you know, one of the more notable pitchers in Negro League history. 1931 to 1945, it went 125 and 50, 3.08 ERA, 4.4 strikeouts per 9 in his career. Two-time All-Star, led the Homestead Grays to 8 pennants during that period. You know, we talked about that period a little bit earlier. You know, that 9 pennants in 11 years. Just absolutely incredible. He led the Negro National League in ERA twice. He led in wins 5 times, led in complete games 6 times, and led in strikeouts 3 times. Not bad, not bad. Negro National League Triple Crown winner in 1938. And look at these stats. Look at these. 14-0, a 1.88 ERA, and 70 strikeouts during that season. Just absolutely incredible stuff. Ray Brown. Let's see, any good stories here? And like most great Negro League players, Brown managed as well later on in his career, and he was one of 5 black players mentioned as being of Major League caliber in a 1938 wire sent to the Pittsburgh Pirates by the Pittsburgh Courier. The other 4, Josh Gibson, Buck Leonard, Cool Papa Bell, and Satchel Paige. And actually, Ray Brown is in the Washington Nationals Ring of Honor for his significant contribution to the game of baseball in Washington, D.C. As part of the Homestead Grays, it was inducted on August 10th, 2010. Pretty cool stuff. But he's also in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, inducted in 2006. So there you go. Widely considered the best pitcher in the Negro Leagues at the time he was pitching, Ray Brown is in Perfect League. Perfect Team 24. All right, one more packable card for you here today. One more packable card. It's another perfect card. And we go back to the outfield for this one. And it is a guy who had a pretty short career in the Negro Leagues, unfortunately. But when he was playing, he was absolutely incredible. And that is 100 overall, Charlie Smith. Charlie Smith, 100 BABIP, 96 power, 63 avoid K, 112 contact, 114 gap, and 100 on the eye. Against righties, it's pretty good. 100 BABIP, 97 power, 63 avoid K, 113 contact, 115 gap, and 101 on the eye. Defensively solid. Can play second base and right field as well. 85 rating at second base, 95 rating in right field. Defensively, he's got 82 range, 82 outfield error, and 82 arm in the outfield. In the infield, he's got 75 range, 75 error, 70 infield arm, and 75 on the turn double play. Speed-wise, he's got 64 speed, 78 stealing, and 85 base running. In his career, between 1925 and 1931, hit 398, 485, 659 with 41 career homers and 232 RBI. That's pretty good. Charlie Smith, Satchel Paige, called him one of the 2 most dangerous hitters ever in the Negro Leagues. That's pretty good. Let me find the page here. Charlie Smith. Here we go. Charlie Smith, also known as Chino Smith. That's how he's listed as on Wikipedia. Known for his good eye at the plate, hit line drives to all fields. 1929 season, absolutely incredible. I mean, we're talking 451, 551, 870 on his slash line in 66 games with the New York Lincoln Giants. 22 homers, 29 doubles, 81 RBI in the 1929 season. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, however, at the age of 30, while playing in Cuba, played in Cuba for a team down there, don't know which team off the top of my head. But yeah, while playing in Cuba, dude unfortunately came down with yellow fever and passed away at the age of 30, pretty much during the prime of his career. But Charlie Smith, when he played, he was fantastic. I think this is a pretty good card to recognize that. So there you go. Charlie Smith, 100 overall right fielder in Perfect Team 24. All right, so there's a look at a lot of the packable cards. There's some other cards in today's set as well. These are the rest of the cards that are in our set today. 22 packable cards in total, so a bit of a smaller set than y'all might be used to with some of our other drops lately. We have Bill Pierce from the Detroit Stars. Jose Munoz, 96 overall starter. Got 93 overall Verdell Mathis. We got 92 overall right fielder Clarence Smith. We got Ted Strong. We got Wade Johnston. We got Oliver Marcel. We got Isidro Fabre. And we got Bienvenido Jimenez from the Cincinnati Cuban Stars. I love that name. He was the last one on the cutting room floor just because of the name. That's a great name. Great name. All right, folks. So I saw a lot of questions in the chat, and it's the question that we all get every single stream, and that is, are there missions? Are there missions? Are there missions? Is there going to be missions? Where are my missions? And I'm pleased to inform you today that there are going to be missions here today. We do have missions today. We do have missions today. We do have missions today. I'm going to say it as many times as I can just to let you know there are missions today. So we'll have a few missions today, and there's going to be a Negro League 3 complete mission today. And if you complete that mission, you will receive a wonderful card as a reward. And that, my friends, is 100 overall right-handed starter Hilton Smith. Hilton Smith, 92 stuff, 118 movement, 105 homer rating, 107 pitcher BABIP, 102 control. Folks, not a lot of splits on this guy, but man, those are good. 102 stamina, 58 on the hold runner, extreme ground ball type, fastball, slider, curveball, forkball, changeup, sinker. He can play a little right field as well. Man, oh man, oh man. This is a good one. Better than Ray Brown? Probably better than Ray Brown. 1932 to 1948 for Mr. Brown. 87-49 career record of 3.07 ERA, 5.7 strikeouts per 9. He was a 7-time Negro American League All-Star. Pitched alongside Satchel Paige for the Kansas City Monarchs between 1932 and 1948. This dude possessed a pretty darn good curveball, but was kind of overshadowed by Satchel Paige on the roster. And often Satchel Paige would pitch the first 3 innings of a game, leaving Smith over here to pitch the remaining 6. So this guy, you know, was kind of the Robin to Satchel Paige's Batman in a roundabout sort of way. Those two are a 1-2 punch in that Kansas City rotation and did very, very well in his career. Had 3 seasons of 10 or more wins. He actually led the league in strikeouts 4 times. And his K to walk percentage, according to Seam Heads, in the 88th percentile among Negro League players of all time. Pretty darn good player right there. So there you go. Right-handed starter Hilton Smith, your Negro League 3 complete mission reward today. All right, so there you go. There's the content set today for Negro League set number 3. Some of the top cards that we showed off for you today: Max Manning, Luke Easter, Biz Mackey, Charlie Smith, Roy Parnell, Larry Doby, Ray Brown, and the mission reward, Hilton Smith. Awesome, awesome stuff. All right, I am hearing that cards are live. Cards are live. But before we get to our tournament standings, there's something I want to tell you about. There's a little news and notes. Little bonus news and notes for you today. And that is that, you know, our good buddy Rich has been teasing that there's going to be something coming today. And here is what it is. There is a new pack type that is coming today. And that, my friends, is rainbow packs. That is right. Rainbow packs will be available for purchase following today's stream. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Now, each pack will have one each of an iron, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and perfect card in the pack. So one iron, one bronze, one silver, one gold, one diamond, and one perfect card. That's pretty solid. These packs will cost 60,000 perfect points and will be available for 48 hours. With another new type, and also there's going to be another new type of pack coming Saturday, but the powers that be don't want me to tease that to you yet. So stay tuned this weekend because there's going to be some awesome packs coming this weekend. All right. So there you go. Let's go ahead and congratulate our weekly leaderboard champions for PTCS 4 period week number 5 between July 31st and August 6th. Daily Iron, last week's top leaderboard champion was M the Bow and the Madison Mashers with 109 points. Daily Bronze is going to be Mandy T and the Madison Moundsmen with 140 points. Daily Silver last week was won by MJ Tebow and the Madison Mohicans with 167 points. Daily Gold today was won by, last week was won by Zargian 3 and the Kuki Kutia with 144 points. Daily Diamond, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jeff LTN's world and we're just living in it. He's starting another Daily Diamond streak, folks. 194 points. He was the leaderboard champion in that category last week. Daily Open was won by Lydora in the Midgar Materia with 130 points. Daily Wildcard last week won by Wadi 3 in the North York No Logo with 122 points. Weekly tournaments for the second week in a row, it was Lydora in the Midgar Materia. 212 points. They are on a 2-week streak right now. In the Perfect Draft Daily realm, it was Zagtastic and the Gonzaga Bulldogs with 143 points leading the way last week, and Perfect Draft Weekly Scannon at 755, and the Norwood Diamonders taking home the top spot with 67 points. So there you go. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team. And yes, there's going to be spotlights coming today too. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you back here on Saturday. On Saturday for the Perfect Team Championship Series number 4. I hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody. DishNet34, Rob Tomlinson, signing out. Have a fantastic rest of your week.